Come on.
Welcome everyone, my name is Ali. Today I've got even more early Call of Duty Advanced Warfare multiplayer gameplay. Make sure you're subscribing because I'm going to have tons more videos, and I've already posted a ton of videos, so make sure you're checking them out, including the world's first sniper triple with 3 kills with 1 bullet posted yesterday on the channel. I'll link all of that stuff down below in the description, so make sure you're checking it out. Today we're going to be focusing on a new category of weaponry called the heavy weaponry class. Included within that list is a laser beam like weapon. We've seen it before, we heard about it before the multiplayer reveal, but I wanted to show you guys the weapon in action and give you an idea of how it works, whether or not it's overpowered, what it's like to use. I will say that the clips show this weapon in a good way. In all honesty, I don't think it's a very good weapon at all, and I'll explain more towards the end of the video. But as I said, give the video a thumbs up if you enjoyed. Make sure you're subscribing for a ton more early Call of Duty Advanced Warfare gameplay coming to this channel very, very soon. And without further ado, let's jump into the gameplay.
UAV in waiting. We've taken control. Our UAV is online. Get our flag. Enemy dropped our flag. Enemy flag acquired. UAV recon standing by. Enemy flag returned. Half time. Launching care package. Drop their flag. We have the enemy flag. Your team controls the anti-personnel system. UAV in waiting. We have the lead. Enemy flag dropped. Get back our flag. They dropped our flag. They got their flag back. They captured our flag. Come on. Drop their flag. Enemy dropped our flag. Soldier, return our flag. Our UAV is online. Our flag is back at base. Get back our flag. The enemy dropped our flag. Stole their flag. UAV ready. Friendly UAV above. Soldier, return our flag. Friendly UAV above.
Enemies advancing!
Hard point contested. Hostiles have captured the hard point. Hard point is ours.
So guys, having a look at that gameplay, what do you think of this crazy new weapon, the laser beam-like weapon that's been added to Advanced Warfare multiplayer. I'm going to be letting you guys know what I think of it, having used the weapon and the other weapons available within multiplayer, and sort of giving you guys a comparison and just letting you know a little bit more about the weapon itself. So we actually first saw this weapon in action within the single-player gameplay shown at E3 earlier this year, and we saw it used just against, you know, sort of like computer-controlled players. But this is the first time we've been seeing it used within multiplayer against other weapons where players are shooting back. You'll notice that some of the clips were actually using a red beam, some of the clips are using a blue beam, and actually within the multiplayer trailer you can actually see a green beam as well. Now, each weapon within multiplayer, for those of you guys that don't know, actually has different upgrades and different versions of that weapon. You can get the standard edition, which in this case is the weapon with the red beam. You can then get enlisted versions, you can then get pro versions, and then elite versions. And with each different version of the weapon, you will get a different colored beam. So that's what that basically means for those of you guys that are wondering. So this weapon, I would say, is meant to be more of a team playing sort of support role weapon. If you compare the time to kill with this weapon to any other weapon in the game, I would rather use a standard weapon. I was using SMGs, I was using snipers, I was using assault rifles, I was using shotguns, and this weapon, I honestly only used it just to get you guys gameplay. I was outgunned in a lot of situations. The only reason I would normally win gunfights is if I was in a sort of close engagement where the player that I was shooting at wasn't too aware that I was there, and typically with this weapon I'd try and shoot from the hip because it was a lot easier to actually see where the beam was going and be as accurate as possible. So it's definitely not overpowered, guys. I would say that right now. If anything, it's honestly underpowered. If you watch this kill here, the amount of bullets I have to put in this guy, or in this case the laser beam, the amount of laser beam I have to put into the player is a lot, and it results in a very inefficient gun. As I stupidly throw myself off the map there like a big noob. But if anything, when you're using this weapon, because of the laser beam coming out of it, you can actually be spotted easier by the enemies. So the enemies know where you're shooting from as well. Now, obviously, this weapon doesn't use bullets. In the bottom right hand corner of the screen, you can see a bar that goes up when I fire for long periods of time. Once that bar gets to the top, you can no longer use the weapon. You've got to wait for the weapon to cool down. And I found it to be very ineffective to take out multiple groups of people because that bar tended to fill up almost over halfway at least for taking out just one person, which meant I then had to wait for it to cool down again before I could take out another person. It was something you definitely have to be aware of. There was an attachment for this weapon which allowed you to shoot for longer periods of time. I ended up using that. It was very, very effective, and I definitely recommend it for this weapon. What I could say is that I didn't unlock every single version of this weapon within multiplayer. As I said, there's in the enlisted versions, the pro versions, and the elite versions, and I believe there's around 3 different versions of each of those types, which means on top of the normal version, there's around 10 versions of every weapon in the game, including this laser beam. So maybe there's an elite version out there or a pro version out there, but it's really, really effective, but I just didn't have a chance to use. You'll see there within that gunfight, I was tap firing, and that seemed to work very well. It helped control the recoil of the weapon, which is definitely prominent and definitely makes gunfights even harder. So tap firing is definitely going to be very, very useful indeed. Now, as I said, this isn't the sort of full release version of the game that we're going to be getting when it comes out. The ability to get hands-on with this weapon at Gamescom and record some early gameplay was also so that the guys developing the game at Sledgehammer could see our feedback, see how we reacted to some of the weapons, and adjust them accordingly. So maybe this gun will get a little bit of a buff when it comes to the full launch. It's a little bit stronger because, you know what, it's quite fun to use. It's very, very different. It's something that we've never really seen within Call of Duty multiplayer, and these sort of end shots here are honestly terrible, I'm not gonna lie, but I just want to give you guys like an honest idea of how the weapon works. I think a lot of the weapons and a lot of the gameplay you'll see from me and most people posting gameplay will be like the best clips, right? And it's really going to show off that weapon in its best of its ability. But here I just wanted to give you a real idea of how the weapon plays out. And yeah, hopefully you guys enjoy it. And maybe you've already decided whether or not you're going to be using this weapon a little bit when the game comes out. I think I'm definitely going to be giving it a go when the game comes out, because I think it's going to be one of those weapons which is going to be fun to use, right? Just fun to mess around with. If you could get some like double kills or triple kills with this weapon, it's going to feel pretty damn awesome, and I think it's going to be a lot of fun, at least, to use when the game fully comes out. So let me know what you guys think of this laser beam down below in the comment section. If you enjoyed the video, feel free to give it a thumbs up, and of course, make sure you subscribe, because I've got tons more Advanced Warfare gameplay to bring you guys. On screen here, you can check out Zombies for Advanced Warfare, which looks like it's going to be returning, which is pretty damn crazy, and on top of that, even more multiplayer gameplay, my friends. But that's been an early look at the laser beam weapon within multiplayer. As I said, this isn't the full release of the game, so we're going to have even more stuff for the full launch. But hopefully you've really enjoyed the video, guys. Thank you so much for watching. Tune in tomorrow for some more videos, and I'll see you guys then.